When a guy falls in love with a girl, his buddies are like, oh my God, he changed. I don't see him anymore. He's always with her. And you blame the girl. They're angry with her because she's the thing that took him away. And that's whether you're in a small town or a big city or in the royal family. Right? It was all changed when you got here. So it's your fault.
Divorced, black, biracial, with a black mother. Those were just four of the typical stereotypes that becomes a feeding frenzy for the British press, but also the British press and numerous other people is like, he's changed. She must be a witch. He's changed. As opposed to, yeah, I did change. I'm really glad I changed because rather than getting drunk, falling out of clubs, taking drugs, I'd now found the love of my life and I now have the opportunity to start a family with her. What Meghan had to go through, very different circumstances, but then you add in the race element, which was what the British press jumped on straight away. I went into this incredibly naive.
Is there a part of you that can see you and your family going back to the UK, becoming working royals for the monarchy?
No, I just don't think it's ever going to be possible. I don't think that even if there was an agreement or an arrangement between me and my family, there was that third party that is going to do everything they can to make sure that that isn't possible. Not stopping us from actually going back, but making it unsurvivable. It never needed to be this way. The leaking and the planting. I want a family, not an institution. If they feel as though it's better to keep us somehow as the villains, they've shown absolutely no willingness to reconcile. That's why I'm here now. That's why my wife is here now. Do I have any regrets? Yeah, my biggest regret is not making more of a stance earlier on in my relationship with my wife and calling out the racism I did.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel everybody, and thank you so much for watching. What's going on guys? I am Jade. If you're new here, I wanted to come out here and quickly catch up with you guys on what is going on. Shout out to Meghan and Harry. They recently released their Christmas card, but before we even talk about that, because there is a whole different set of controversy, conspiracies, and all this other stuff coming out from that. But I want to touch on something that I think was really important in this video. The clip that I just played where Prince Harry was basically saying that there is a third party that will make it really hard for them to stay. First of all, he just said that they're not going back to the UK, and he basically went on to give reasons why they will never be able to go back to the UK. He also talked about the safety factor, talk about how they're not safe, okay? Especially knowing that if they're going to be in the family, that means they have to agree. That means they have to accept the things that drove them away from the UK in the first place, the things that they basically were not going to accept in the first place. So yeah, and obviously that's going to be a hard one for them. They don't want to do that, and I don't think they should do that, because that will mean they are basically settling for the reason why they left in the first place. Then all of this would have been pointless, because I feel like what the media and the royal family is doing to Harry and Meghan is a sacrifice that they have to pay, they have to make for their freedom in totality. Yes, they are currently in Montecito. They are living their best life and they are happy and thriving. But I feel like the minute they decide, okay, let's come to an agreement, let's squash all of this and go back, it's never gonna stop. And I have also said this before, and I know that some people don't necessarily like to hear this. I hope that Harry and Meghan continue to thrive. I hope that they continue to be happy and even more happy than they are now. I do believe those two are in love, and I do believe that their love is going to withstand, just like it has already withstood a lot of things. It's going to keep withstanding the test of time. But let's say, God forbid, there is a separation and a divorce. Do you honestly think that the British media and the hateful people are going to now say, okay, now they're no longer together, so let's move on. No. Harry and Meghan, especially Meghan, will forever be breakfast, lunch, and dinner to the toxic British media. That her fate, Meghan's fate, unfortunately, is sealed in that way. In that they will never let up, they will never let go. They are always going to be digging into Meghan's trash to find something that they want to write about, because she is the money maker. Like, she is the money maker of the 24th century. She is the Princess Diana of the 24th century. Because Princess Diana, and the reason why they latch on to Princess Diana, the media, the reason why they latch on to talking about Princess Diana as much as they did up until her death, which in my opinion somehow drove her to her death, because if she was not running away from the paparazzi, she probably will still be here today. But the reason why they lashed on as much as they did was because they realized that, whoa, speaking about her, talking about her, writing about her brings the clicks, brings the money, brings the view, brings everything. So they were not going to give up their goose that laid the golden egg. They were never going to do that. So, and that's the same situation with Meghan right now, unfortunately. They are never going to leave Meghan alone. They are always going to talk about Meghan. And so my advice to them is that just hang in there. And there was no better way for Harry and Meghan to show to the entire world, especially to the hateful, bitter British media and their toxic readers, right? There was no better way for Harry and Meghan to show to them that, hey, we're here. We're not going anywhere. We love each other. We are going to write this out. You guys, you haters can keep posting whatever you want to post about us, but we're just going to keep living our lives. No better way to do that, no better way for them to do that than to release their Christmas cards. When I tell you the kind of buzz that the Christmas card has been generating online, all of the things, like, first of all, they didn't even know how to act. They didn't know how to respond to this. They were so confused, because remember, for a very long time, they have been lying to their readers. They have been lying to their, to their followers, and claiming that Harry and Meghan, blah, 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 the kids, claiming all sorts of things about Princess Lilibeth and Prince Archie. They've been spreading all kinds of things about them. Okay. And some of the narrative, some of the scandals are just downright ridiculous, that they're not even worth mentioning. Like not even worth mentioning. But they have been pushing false narratives about them. And guess what? When Harry and Meghan posted a picture, a collage of photos, including the ones of Lilibeth and Archie, they didn't know what to do with themselves. They didn't know what to make of the whole situation. At first, they were like, oh, imagine people who went on and on and on about how Prince Harry and Meghan never want to show Lilibeth and all this other stuff, and Archie. They went from that to saying that they are basically doing this for their attention. If Prince Harry and Meghan have proven anything since leaving the UK, it has been that they are not in the business of using their children for publicity. They are not in the business of using their children for clout. That's William and Kate. Okay, when William is having a bad day, when William is having a bad press day and a bad press week, William and Kate will just like, oh, my daughter, Princess Charlotte, says this and says that. My daughter, Princess Charlotte, did this. That's not Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan, if anything, have done an amazing job of shielding their children from the toxicity of the British media. The last thing that those two will ever do is to use their children. But this is what happens when your theory is blown out of the water and you don't know anywhere else to go. You just make up another set of controversies. This is basically what they do. Harry and Meghan are the last person to use that. If anything, they have done an amazing job just shielding their children away from this, away from the toxicity, away from the mess, and try to give their children some normalcy, try to give them, a really safe space for them to thrive. Christmas cards are something that people do every year. Okay, my family, I do it too in my family. We all come together, we'll take pictures, and then we'll make a card, and then we'll send to the people that are, our friends and loved ones, and just wishing them Merry Christmas. It's what people do. So it's not out of the ordinary for them to do this. In fact, I was expecting this. I knew that at some point they were going to do a Christmas card and they were going to show the kids. So now, because they were not sure, okay, the British media were not sure if Harry and Meghan were going to do this, so they were not really expecting, just like they were so shocked and they were running helter-skelter when Prince Harry made a surprise visit, a surprise attendance to his auntie's husband's funeral, and the media didn't know, and they spent the first 3 days the freaking media spent the first 3 days moaning and groaning about how they were not informed about why would he be treating the media this way and that way. So once they recovered from the shock of not being aware, of not being made aware that Prince Harry was attending, they started to cook up lies and false narrative and whatever. But by then it was too late. The guy was gone. You know what I mean? And so they were so mad because they couldn't milk. Imagine all the articles they would have written and all the monies they would have made from Harry's visit had they known beforehand that Prince Harry was coming. So that's exactly what's going on now. They were not sure that Harry and Meghan were going to include the kids in the Christmas cards. And so they didn't really necessarily plan for it. They did not think it was going to happen. And then when it did happen, and because they didn't plan for it, they started running around like a chicken with its head cut off. I love Harry and Meghan. I love how they have mastered the wickedness of the British media. And now they've gained the upper hand, and they are, at this moment, 100% in control of their lives. 100%. Harry and Meghan are in control of their lives. They are calling the shots. They get to choose what goes out and what stays in. And that right there is freedom, something that they never had before. Like, even back then, these people were just making up story. Thanks to William and Kate and Camilla and Charles, they were just making up stuff about them and just pushing those narratives to the media. But the fact that Harry and Meghan are able to just live their lives in their own terms and do whatever they want to do without any leakage, it's very clear who the leakers are. It's very clear now. So the pictures are beautiful. It shows Lilibeth and Archie running towards Prince Harry and Meghan, and they just look like a really, really happy family. And hopefully this will silence all the haters, because they didn't need to include them. They could have just done, a Christmas card with all of their charity and their business and everything, but they included the kids, a way to silence the haters and tell the British media and Kate and William and Camilla and be like, keep wishing, sickos. Keep wishing. That's never going to happen. My wife and I are in love with each other. And I absolutely love that when Prince Harry is addressing or talking about Meghan, he always says, my wife. There is something about that just tugs at my heartstrings. Like, when he says it, it just shows to me, at least, right, that he really, really enjoys being married to Meghan. And because that's what he could have just said, Meghan, whenever he's talking about his wife, he could have just said, oh, Meghan this and Meghan that. No, he always says my wife. And that just tells me that he's really, really proud of Meghan. He's really, really happy to be married to Meghan. And he's absolutely enjoying being a husband, and he's enjoying his marriage life, and he's enjoying being a dad, and it just shows. It really, and I am the kind of person that doesn't like that. Like when people, every time when people say my husband, or my, but when he says it, when men say it, is a different thing, because it shows that that man is really, really, really into his wife, and really, really loves his wife, and he's really proud of his wife. And that's what I sense every time I hear Prince Harry address Meghan as my wife. He seldom calls her Meghan. Most times he's like my wife, my wife, my wife, my wife. And it just really shows to you that he's happy. He's a happy man. He loves being married to her. She obviously makes her happy, makes him happy, and he makes her happy as well. And they have an amazing family, and it's a beautiful thing. So this right here, for any of those people who are still believing the media lies and all the narratives about how, oh, the divorce is happening today, any day now, Harry and Meghan are going to announce. I hope that this kind of answers your question. I know that for a lot of people, this is not going to be enough, because they're just going to, the media is going to twist their brain. They're going to take a few days off, right? To like figure out how to go about this, and then they're going to come back with their narrative of why this is happening. But let's just enjoy this. And I thought this was such a treat to me as a Meghan and Harry fan. This Christmas card was such a treat to me, if I do say so myself. So it basically says, on behalf of the office of Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Archwell Productions and Archwell Foundation, we wish you a very happy holiday season and a joyful new year. So that's what it says on the card. It's such a beautiful card. I love that color. And yeah, hopefully all of you that are really, really Harry and Meghan fans and supporter, hopefully you guys have found joy, as much joy in this as I have, and hopefully you guys found this as much of a treat to us as this was to me. So yeah, I absolutely love it. Absolutely, absolutely love it. But on that note, let me know what you guys think. I'll catch you later. Bye.